Good morning, everyone. Oh, okay, so we're already talking about the emotions. You said which one you know, Arlo?
I know all of them.
All of them? Okay. How many, welcome everyone. Yes. Are you guys hearing me all right on Zoom, on YouTube? And there we go. We are drawing inside out emotions today, and it's going to be pretty fun. Oh, is that crazy? Yeah. So the students in class get to see what we're seeing too. I'm just letting them know. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Now we're gonna look at the character designs for the Inside Out characters, and then we're gonna use that to create our own emotions characters, which is gonna be really cool. So start thinking already. What are some of the emotions that you would put in your head? And they don't have to be the same ones.
I made my own at home.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. So if you guys have already started making yours at home, that's even better. This is my spaceship for all my STAR students. And yeah. Now, what I like to do too at the start of my morning cartoonings is to do an art review. And today's art review comes from a past student that I just taught. Her name is Emma O. And she came up with this rainbow star, which is really cool. And what I like to do too for this morning cartooning is I'm going to redraw your drawings. So if you guys submit any artwork to me or share it with me in class in person, I will redraw it up on my tablet and do it in my style and then share it with you guys next week. I got a lot of new stickers. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Like each week, I'll show you guys.
There's so many mushrooms.
I know, so many mushrooms. So the mushroom, actually, I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. So look what my friend gave me. It's a big mushroom plushie. Hey, Carla, come on in. Hi. So this is my, just goes along with my whole jumpsuit, my fuzzy jumpsuit. It's my mushroom stuffed animal thing. Is it a stuffed animal if it's just a mushroom? I love your jumpsuits, everyone. Love it. Love the onesies. That's what they are. All right. So if you guys want to share your artwork, you guys can share it to my email, which is noahfontana@gmail.com, or tag me in it if you guys have Instagram, and my Instagram is teacher.noah. And hi, Cora online. Hi, everyone else. Looks good. We got some people commenting online. If you guys want to ask the people online, or I'll let you guys know what they're talking about as they put in their comments. That way you guys can check out. Oh, and there's my mom. She's online too. Hi, guys. Hi, Mom. Everyone's waving here at you. All right. Now, I like to also start off after we do the art review and check out what we did like last week. I like to do some morning mindfulness. And today's morning mindfulness comes from the Starstruck Star. And this star is all about emotional regulation, which I felt was fitting because today we're going to be talking about Inside Out and all the emotions. Did you guys see the trailer for the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah? You did see it, Emmy? Okay, gotcha. Even though you haven't seen the first one yet. Okay. Well, what's so interesting, I thought, was that like in the first one, they have all these emotions that are helpful, right? Like even anger and sadness or like disgust, they all kind of help Riley, the character. But then we have this next series where there's anxiety, there's like ennui, which is like sloth or like laziness. And then there's also, what was the other one? Do you guys know?
Enviness?
Envy, I think. Oh yeah, envy. Yeah. We said anxiety, like ennui, envy. Embarrassment. Yes. Yeah. Embarrassment. And now I'm interested to see how they interact with Riley, because those ones I feel like I don't know how those are super helpful, right? So sometimes I feel like we have feelings that like we don't know what to do with them. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Like she's going to need to get more after that. Oh, right. Yeah, they put them in. They were like bottled up emotions. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do that because that doesn't really help too much. Yeah. Right. Probably I was thinking that when Riley like woke up, just because I'm gonna repeat when you guys ask me questions, just so everybody online can hear too, just so you guys know. I think probably when she was like waking up, she was probably feeling that like ennui, which is like, do you guys ever feel lazy? Anybody in the chat? Is there sound? Uh-oh. Hold on. They can't hear anything. They should be hearing something. Sometimes when people are on YouTube, they forget to turn up the sound, and sometimes it's my problem, and the sound doesn't go on. But yeah, all right, we'll see. It looks like it's coming through on my end, the sound, and you guys here can hear me, obviously, right? How crazy would that be if I was just like talking, and then all of a sudden I was like, anyway, okay. Oh, my mom says good morning, Kayla. All right. Now, the Starstruck star, the quote is from Starstruck, is create balance in your life by practicing acceptance and growth. So acceptance and growth are two kind of different things. Hello, gentlemen, come on in, sit down. Now, acceptance is, how would you guys describe acceptance? Ooh. Being in a group. Oh, gotcha. I like that. Yeah, yeah. Like if a group accepts you and everything. Yeah. And then there's also like self-acceptance. And then there's like acceptance of your like external circumstances. That means like the stuff that's happening to you. Sometimes you don't like what's happening to you. Like for Riley, it was like moving to San Francisco, and then she had to like make all new friends. And it wasn't like her favorite thing in the world. And sometimes in life you have to accept the things that you don't like, because sometimes they're good for you, and sometimes life just is not super fun. But the other part of that to create balance in your life is growth. So sometimes you need to grow, and sometimes you just need to accept the things that are happening in life. And then that creates a nice balance of life where you're not feeling like you don't have any power in your life, but you also aren't just trying to like fight everybody that comes across you and tries to like mess with you. Okay. Now, we're going to get into that a little bit more when we actually have the visuals of the emotions, and I think it'll make a lot more sense. But first, I wanted to show you guys some inspiration. For Inside Out 2, we know the original emotions. Can you guys name them? Or the original? And people online, you guys can also comment and see if you guys can list out who can. You know all of them? All right, list them off. Can you say them? Oh, perfect. So we got anger, sadness, joy, disgust, and fear. And then we got some new emotions coming up. And the new emotions we just went over are embarrassment, anxiety, envy, and ennui, which is like a French word for like feeling like bleh and like wanting to just like lounge around all day and like chill. And what's really cool, I think, is that they each have like a different color. They have a totally different look. Some of them have noses. Some of them don't have noses. Some of them have hair. Some of them don't have hair. So when you're designing your Inside Out characters, you guys can make them look really however you want. What I also like is how they all have different clothes. Like Anger was wearing like a suit and tie because he seemed like very like buttoned up and like very like his clothes were all like tucked in and everything, and that kind of feeds into like the anger where it's just like everything is very just like tight on him, like all of his clothes, and his necktie is really tight. Whereas say like anxiety or embarrassment, it's got like a big hoodie which you can like hide behind like that. This one doesn't look super. I feel like maybe I should be embarrassed with this big Eeyore hoodie, but I like it. It's so cozy. It is a little bit hot though. Ennui kind of has its hair like covering its eyes because it's not trying to be seen. It's just kind of trying to hide in the background on its phone. And then Envy has these like big water, like speckled, like glowing, glimmering eyes and everything, just like, cause that's the way it sees everything. It's just like, everything is like, it's like big heart eyes. All right. Oh, there's a Kayla in my mom's class, and she's online too. Hey, Kayla. We got 2 Kaylas now. That's awesome. Oh, we got Carla and Kayla. Sorry. I was getting so confused here. All right. Now, let's get to the drawing. I'm excited. So I'm going to show you guys how to go from, here, I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to show you guys how to go from these sketches that I did, the emotions that I felt like were like my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 emotions. And you guys will see them up on the screen in a second. These were my top 9 emotions. Now, I didn't just come up with these like character designs all out of nowhere. I actually used a trick that a lot of artists use that I think a lot of young artists don't know about, and it's called using a reference. Do you guys know about referencing things when you're drawing?
You grab a photo and then base it off that?
Yes, exactly. And that's how most artists, like when these guys at Disney and Pixar made their drawings, when they made Tarzan, they went and climbed through the jungle. When they made Finding Nemo, they went swimming and scuba diving. So they always use like a lot of reference. They try to get as much contact and experience with what they're drawing as possible. That way what they're drawing feels like it's like real life. And that's how they can make these really goofy, like cartoony characters feel like they have real emotions. So that's what I did for these characters. So what I want you guys to do for your characters, because I took these characters and turned them into this. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And you guys will see in a second too. I think for next time, should we not do the laggy one and have just like the one where you guys can see my iPad? Yeah? Okay, gotcha. All right, you guys will see it in a second. There we go. That's what they look like. All right, and hi Haley online, glad you're here. All right, so first off, I wanted to show you guys some of the concept art for Pixar. A lot of the times they started with simple shapes for their emotions. So on your pieces of paper right now, you guys can start to draw this. Start listing out some of the emotions that you feel like you feel most days. Like the most common, you know how like in Inside Out they have like little balls of emotions that go spiraling in and they're like clink, 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 right? Down her like brain paths. So try to think of which emotions you guys would feel on a daily basis. And you could even kind of make up names for them. They don't have to be like real emotions. Like maybe it's like funny or goofy, or maybe it's creative. That was one of the ones that I created, was creative. Now, after you do that, I want you guys to try to pick a shape, and it could be kind of like a blobby shape like you see on the screen, to match with each of those emotions. And maybe we'll just start off like with one is fine. If you want to do more than one, you totally can. But one, like just starting off with one just to get the ball rolling is pretty good. So first write off some emotions that you feel, then then create a shape to go off of it. Now, they might not look exactly right off the bat, and that's pretty common for most artists. A lot of the times when artists create artwork, they go through a lot of different changes. In a second, you guys will see some of the other early versions of the Inside Out characters, and they looked really crazy. Sometimes they change the color, sometimes they change the size, sometimes, yeah. They changed a lot of stuff. Sometimes they nailed it right on the first one. Like Joy looks pretty on point, right? She didn't really change too much. And that tends to happen with like the main character. Usually if they know what the main character looks like, they're gonna stick with it. All right. So I'm gonna do what I'm asking you guys to do so you guys can see an example of this while you're working on yours too. So let's see an emotion. What emotions have you guys put on yours? And people on YouTube, you guys can comment too. Yes?
Adventurous,
Ooh,
artsy.
adventurous and artsy. I love it. Okay, cool. Arla, I see you put some emotions too? Which ones? You want to share one of them?
Love.
Love. Ooh, that's a good one. They don't really have love on there. Huh. Did you guys do any emotions yet in the back?
I normally feel happy.
Happy. That's good.
Silly.
Silly. I love it. Emmy, yeah.
Excited.
Excited. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Of the ones that I created, I have some of those, like definitely, like I called it exuberance. It's like when you get really excited about something. For this one, and you can, what's really cool is that you guys can put some of the emotions that you feel that don't feel so good. Because it kind of, this is a very like therapeutic process, which means that it helps you express and understand your emotions a lot. So if you feel any emotions, you can do those, you could add those in too. I've done this exercise a couple times with myself, and I've done a lot of different emotions, and it's actually really helped me feel like I can like make sense of them and like imagine them talking in my head. Because Riley's emotions are good, but I wouldn't say those are like my main emotions. Let's stay, here, I'm going to show you. So I have these pictures up just so you could reference them and see how different those characters look. But this is how I did it. These were some characters that I picked. So what really helps if you're still having trouble thinking of the emotions in your head. Oh, we got lazy online too. Yeah, that's kind of like the ennui, or I made a lazy one before I knew it was ennui, and I called it just like sloth. So what helped me come up with different emotions was to think of my favorite characters in TV shows, because usually they're my favorite characters because I like some of their personality traits and I wanted to be like them. So here are some of my characters that I came up with. Some of them are real life people and some of them are just made up. Some of them are from books, some of them are from movies. So if you can think of any of your favorite characters from TV shows, you could write those down and see if they pair up with any of those emotions. Or how would you summarize those characters? So one of mine is Jim Halpert. He's from that show, The Office. You know The Office? Yeah. And I love that Jim Halpert was so relaxed and laid back and like nonchalant, which basically means all those words. Hi, come on in. Then there was Bob Ross. Do you guys know who Bob Ross is?
He's a painter.
Yeah, he's like the painter with a big afro who did like TV shows. Yeah, I really liked his character too, and that one I felt like really embodied like the emotion of like creativity. Like he's just got this crazy hair. It kind of feels like Albert Einstein hair. There's just like lots of ideas and creativity. Then there was Mr. Rogers. You guys know who Mr. Rogers is? No. Breaking my heart. Okay. Well, Mr. Rogers was so nice and kind and gentle, and so I thought that would be a good character to base my gentleness around. And this is where we go back to like our references. I would use these characters as references, and you could see a lot of those characters and like the clothes that they wore in the characters that I ended up making. Then sometimes I don't feel good and I don't feel like upbeat and happy. And sometimes you guys ever get like really down in the dumps? Yeah. Or like you just feel sad or yeah. Or like you don't want to create anything. Has that ever happened yet? No? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens as an artist. A big part about being an artist is that you're very creative and you go down a lot of different rabbit holes. And sometimes those rabbit holes don't really lead to anything and it can be kind of a huge bummer. So for that emotion, I called that emotion, that's despair. And I did the version of the Batman because I thought it was like dark and moody and I thought it was like kind of cool and it was just like, Rah! And that's sometimes how I feel when things don't go your way. Like we were talking about going back to acceptance. Then there's a few other ones, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. I will talk about two other ones though. One is Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. That one I think inspired my exuberance or my excitement because Tigger is just like so happy and he's got so much enthusiasm and it's like such good vibes and I love that. And then the last one I'll talk about is Rocky. Do you guys know who Rocky is?
From Paw Patrol?
No.
Rocky?
Rocky, like he's got boxing gloves?
Nope.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. I know. I'm just getting old. All right. Anybody online? Do you guys know who Rocky is? Help me. No. Okay. Anyway, Rocky. Maybe they based him off of Rocky that I know. Who's Rocky from Paw Patrol? What's he like?
I like the green pup.
The green pup.
What is he like?
Yeah. What's his personality like?
He likes fixing things like the tools and stuff.
Okay. Probably not based off of Rocky, the Rocky that I'm thinking of. But Paw Patrol is a great show because it's got so many different characters. Yes, you got your stars. I love it. Okay, great. Yeah, so if you guys have any shows like Paw Patrol or whatever shows you guys are watching these days, think of the characters that you feel like you're maybe the most like or the ones that you just like the most. The Rocky that I was talking about, he was a boxer. And that one I used to inspire my emotion resilience. Do you guys know what resilience is? Okay, so resilience. Oh, we got somebody online. Okay, thank you. Hi, Haley. Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about Rocky. I'm just going to believe that. You're talking about Rocky. But resilience is about when you get like hit or something doesn't go your way, and you get back up and you keep on trying and you just keep on trying. And they say that that's really the key to success. It isn't that you're super talented or super maybe artistic or even there's plenty of people that I grew up with that were better artists than me, but they stopped drawing after a certain point, and then they didn't do anything with their artwork. But if you keep on trying, and that's where the resilience comes in, that's where you can really break some new ground and do something awesome. Okay, so after I picked those characters, I found pictures of all of them. So this is, I'm going to show you a picture of Rocky. There we go. And there's also Mr. Rogers, and there's a character by this comedian called Hot Rod, and he was really daring. Like he was just super brave and would try out different things, and didn't care if he looked kind of like silly doing it. That's Hot Rod right there, and then there's Batman in the corner. Now, people on YouTube, do you guys have any emotions? I don't see any emotions yet that you guys are planning on doing, and I'm curious what you guys are going to come up with. Did you guys think of any new ones that you want to include? No? Okay. All right. Mr. Rogers is right over there with the sweater. He also had a TV show, and that's Rocky, who looks all beaten up and everything like that. But he kept on fighting, and that's like his whole thing, is that he just never quit. Now, after I came up with those references and those characters, I sketched out my characters. Now, I'm not showing the step that I did take, but it's to make shapes out of all of these characters. And what I would suggest for you guys, since you have some colored pencils in front of you, pick a different color for each character and try to draw a shape. And just like we saw with those early inside out drawings, which you guys will see up on the screen in a second, the shapes don't have to be like a star or a rectangle or a triangle. They can be kind of blobbier shapes or kind of almost look like a head with a body too. Like I see, what's her name? Joy and Fear. Oh, we got Studious in the chat. That's interesting. Oh, and Kathleen. Oh, hey, Kathleen. Oh, I'm so excited you're here. Okay. Fear. I know it's a little bit tricky. So let's say for my resilient character. Now I'm going to show up the characters, but I'm also going to show you like the basic shapes if I had to break them down to basic shapes. Resilient is like a big block with like with a big head and stocky feet. And that's because resilient is like tough to beat. You can't really fight resilient. It's just if you keep on trying, that's kind of makes you unstoppable. If nothing stops you, right? Now for daring, I wanted daring to look very like dynamic. And one of the most dynamic shapes that you can draw is a triangle, because it kind of already looks like a cape. So the way to make a character's body look like a triangle is to spread out their feet and have them standing almost like in a hero pose, or have their arms crossed, because it kind of makes their whole body into a triangle like this, see? And now for these characters, daring, I wanted to have some bright colors. So a lot of that color, that character is orange, but he also, I wanted him to have like some good intentions, or some, a good heart, and not just be like wildly crazy, because orange feels like a little bit wildly crazy. So what I did was I added some blue to it too, because blue is a very it's a very earnest color. It kind of gives you the sense that you could trust blue. Blue is like in the sky, it's just very familiar and calming. Now for resilience, I wanted it to look a little bit more battered and torn up, and kind of like he was a little bit tired. So I used this like tan gray color, but I also wanted him to have a lot of like heart and grit to him too. So I used this like dark kind of red color for the skin, like this. Like that. And let's see, the last one I'll break down for you like this was despair. And this was like that murky emotion that makes you feel like, oh, nothing's going to work out anymore. And for despair, this character, I wanted him to have really thin legs, because despair is very fragile. It's like if you're in that feeling of despair, probably you can cry at any moment if somebody says something to you that rubs you the wrong way. So despair has really thin legs at the bottom, as opposed to, say, resilience, which has really short and stocky legs, like basically like tree trunks. And despair has this hunched over shape. And the colors for despair I picked are like these faded green colors. Like that. All right. Now, I'm going through these pretty fast, but that's because it's video. So if you guys need to, you can go back and watch it again and follow along, or you could just keep on creating your characters. But what I would say for those of you guys here in the studio, if you can start by trying to pick a shape of your character, that would be a really great place to start. And while you're drawing the shapes, if you pick a color, that's also helpful. What's awesome about art too is that there's no real wrong answers, especially with something like this. These are your emotions, and so however the colors make you feel, whichever one your instincts or you feel like drawn to, no pun intended, those can be the right colors. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, those are the right colors. All right. All right, we're actually going to pause right now because it is 9:30 and it is time for, have any of you taken my morning cartooning class before? No? You don't know? Okay, so I do this thing that I call the karate break in the middle. So I used to teach karate. I had like a black belt, a 2nd degree black belt in karate, and it was really fun. And in a second, you guys will see some pictures of me when I was probably around your age, and I was an orange belt in karate, and I was trying to do some kicks. It was such a great balance, talking about balance and having two opposite things. Drawing was very like sitting down and relax. But doing karate was like really active and really helpful because it helped me get out all my energy. It helped me think with like a different part of my brain. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause the drawing for right now, and you guys are gonna get up and we're gonna play a game called Sensei Says. Okay, do you guys know what Sensei is?
No.
No? Okay, so sensei is what you would call the teacher. So like how you would call me teacher Noah, you would say like sensei Noah. That's just what that was the word for it. Exactly, yeah. I had a student one time call me Miss Sensei because she got confused and she was like, oh, Miss Sensei, and she's like, oh, and she forgot. And it was hilarious. But in karate, we did a game called Sensei Says, and I did this with some of the students that I had when I taught karate. And what you do is you do a different move, but just like Simon says, you only do it if I say Sensei Says. If I say straight punch and you punch, then you're out and you get to sit down. All right? So if you guys will, stand up and we'll play it for like 4 minutes, really short.
I want to keep drawing.
I know, we're going to keep on drawing. Don't even worry about that. We are going to keep on drawing. But you can keep on coloring if you want to. If you really don't want to play, that's fine. Oh my goodness, we have somebody online just said they just got their promotion today in martial arts. Got a black stripe. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right. Now, the first move is you got to make a fist. Do you guys know how to make a fist? So make sure when you make a fist, you don't put your thumb inside your fist. If you put your thumb inside and you try to punch, you'll probably break your thumb. So keep your thumb on the outside and you're going to punch with these 2 knuckles, just like that. Those 2 knuckles. There we go. Good. Yeah. Yeah. It'll probably hurt if you punch yourself. But now, when you do a straight punch, you want to punch from right here. So hold your hand right here and punch straight out. There we go. Perfect. Let me see. Good. 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 Looking good. Yeah. So you just go 1, 2, and as you punch one, you pull the other one in like that. Okay. Good. That's straight punch. Now, the other 3 moves I'm going to show you really quick are just all blocks. So the first one is rising block, like this. So it's almost like you're punching the sky. And you want it kind of at an angle. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm doing.
And I can do the punching right there.
Perfect, yeah. It might be more fun if you get up. It's a little bit delayed.
Oh, there you
go. All right. So you got the rising block, you got the straight punch. Then we have middle block, which you kind of like you're scooping ice cream. Scooping ice cream. Yeah. And that's for if somebody like tries to punch you, you squish. I love how your tassels are flying all around. So there we go. We got middle block, rising block, straight punch, and then the last one is down block. This one, maybe like you're hammering something, but kind of like to the side. I don't know why you would hammer it like that. There we go. And you want to do it across your body. Okay. Ready. So here we go. And people online, you guys can play too and see how long you could stay in. And we'll see who the winner is. Now, when I did this, it was like we got exhausted doing it because it was like super active and everybody was like competing for like the championship each week. It was so much fun. Okay, ready. Okay, Sensei says rising block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says straight punch. Rising block. Oh, okay. Nobody's out? Okay, good. How are you guys doing online? Are you guys still in? Okay. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says straight punch. Straight punch. Oh, okay. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says down block. Middle block. Straight punch. Ooh. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says middle block. I almost did a block that you guys I didn't teach you guys yet. Sensei says straight punch. Middle block. Oh, caught herself close. Okay. Sensei says rising block. Down block. Oh, pretty close. If you want to come back in and play, you can. Because these guys might be here for a while. Okay. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Cross block. I didn't even teach you guys cross block. That was the one. I keep on messing that up. Okay. Sensei says rising block. Straight punch. Oh, you can keep up playing if you want. Okay. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says middle block. Straight punch. Straight punch. Okay. Rising block. Ah! You did it too? Okay. Middle block. Down block. Sensei says rising block. Down block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says rising block. Straight punch. It's hard. I was terrible at this game as a kid. All right, I'm gonna do one more speed round and then we'll get back to the drawing. Here we go. Also, how are you guys doing online? Probably they're not chatting because they're playing right now. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Down block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says middle block. Down block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Oh man, you guys are good. All right, that's all I got for today. Okay, you guys can sit back down. Very nice, very nice job.
What did you say?
Ooh, okay, I cannot wait. And so what we'll do too, just so everybody knows, is by next week, I'll take pictures of all your work, or you guys can send me the work if you guys are online, and then we'll do a little art review and see what everybody drew from the previous week. Okay, so I will definitely check it all out, and we can check out what you guys have drawn. Now, on to the second part of our activity. Okay. Here we go. All right, now for these characters, let's see. I have them very, very detailed and drawn out, and all you're really doing to get there is to add in some of the details on top of your character. So for example, let's go like this. You start off with the rough sketch, and then we start to add in the details. So I'm going to change the opacity a little bit. Right now I'm drawing on my tablet, but this works on paper and pencil too. Some of these characters I actually did design on paper and pencil. Now, a good rule of thumb for drawing human faces is to do the T design, where you just draw like a T or a cross in front of the face, and play around with how big or how small you want the eyes to be. For resilience, for example, I wanted him to feel kind of like a big bear, like kind of like a teddy bear, like where he's strong, but not like in a mean way, not in like a scary way, but strong and like he's kind of tired, but he's going to keep on fighting. So that's why I gave him these big, round, kind of droopy eyes. I also gave him a headband because he's a boxer or works out. And a kind of like a calm smile like this. Now, as far as clothes go, he's wearing like a hoodie. And this was very much inspired by Rocky Balboa, who is the boxer, who is wearing like a cut-off hoodie that shows off his big, strong arms. And he's got some a wristband around his arms too, like this. Now this is going, I'm drawing these hands a lot faster than I took to draw them the first time. Hands are so tricky to draw. So it's, you did your hands all right? Oh, that's awesome. Maybe not for everybody then.
I did silly.
You did silly? Oh, great. Okay. I like the color that you picked. It looks like you did like a greenish kind of color.
A green color?
Is that what it was? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
Wearing
I like
a
it.
top hat and a fancy top.
Oh, I love it. It was fancy top hat. Great. Okay. And people on YouTube, how did you guys do? What was that? Oh, he's saying hi. All right, so that's a good point. Is that if he's like social silly, meaning like he likes to talk to people and say hi, great. But some of the characters, like this was my drawing for exuberance. You guys will see in a second. Exuberance has like a lot of energy. So I didn't want her just to be standing still like I had for nonchalance. This one, nonchalance, was the one that was inspired by Jim from The Office. And creativity has like a lot of crazy hair, and he's got his hand pointed up, and he's wearing like an art smock or apron. So you kind of want your character to be in a pose that resembles what their character is. Okay. And for my resilience, I have him wearing shorts because boxers always wear shorts. and he's wearing Converses. This is all very inspired by Rocky. And it also, I changed some of the colors to match the palette that I wanted. You finished all your characters?
Look at what
Oh, beautiful. Oh, sweet. So I'm going to come and check those out once we stop going live. That way I'm still talking to the people on YouTube too. And the people on YouTube, you guys can send me your work as well. I'll give you guys those links in a little bit. Now, if you finished your drawings, but you didn't color them yet, let's add some color, because color is a super important part of all of the Inside Out characters.
I don't have any.
Oh, Carla, can you scoot those pencils over so you guys can share? Thank you so much. Now, they pick these colors for the Inside Out characters very intentionally. They spend a lot of time deciding it. Ennui is this dark, cool, purple, blue color. That's because that kind of feels like you're under almost like a dark blanket and you're covered up. Now, colors can mean more than one thing, because you also have blue for sadness and you have purple for fear. Fear kind of is an interesting one. I think they really wanted it to look a little bit different than the other colors, but that like pale purpley fear can have a lot of energy to it. And that, I think, is why they picked it for fear. For embarrassment, they picked very like soft, like cozy colors, like these like pink and this like purpley gray sweater and like purpley pink pants. Just all very like careful or soft colors, I would say. And when you think of embarrassment, it's like it feels, and you see the character in the trailer, it feels very like soft and sensitive. All right. So that's pretty much it for resilience. For despair, I added some shaggy hair on top. Added some like very low, non-reactive eyebrows. And a lot of despair is like hidden away, because when you're feeling like despair, you're probably not trying to be in the center of attention. There we go. Now, despair is also wearing a hoodie, like resilience is, but for despair, it's got a hoodie because it's covered up in layers, and it's covering up its head in the cloak and in the hood part. So using the hoodie in a different way. So some of your characters might end up having the same clothes, but you can use them and wear them in different ways. And again, we have these really thin legs that almost don't even have any detail. Like for the most part, the legs are just like black boots. And for daring, this one changed a bit from our original shape of the triangle, but the head still is somewhat in a triangle shape. I just rounded it out a little bit because I wanted daring to look a little bit younger. And usually when you have rounder features, that makes you look younger. Kind of like how babies' faces are so round and chubby and have the best cheeks ever. But I wanted daring to look a little bit younger and wide-eyed, because I wanted daring to have a little bit of like naivete where it doesn't even know that it can't do things. It's just very brave and daring. So that's what I was thinking about when I was drawing this character. I also gave it a big missing tooth, and it's got some bright blue eyes. Just a lot of different characteristics that show its uniqueness from the other characters. Like it hasn't fully figured out exactly who it is yet. It's still learning and growing, which is also why its little its blue jumpsuit it doesn't go all the way down and isn't baggy yet, because it moves around so much and it's growing so much that it grew right out of its jumpsuit, and it's wearing like green sneakers too, or striped sneakers. There we go, not green. There we go. And we also gave Daring a cape, because why not? And because of my inspiration being Hot Rod did actually also have a cape too. So I was very inspired by the Hot Rod character. All right. Now this is something I haven't actually taught to any of my students yet, but it's a really cool tool. Do you guys know what AI is?
Yes.
No? Yeah? Okay. So one of my friends told me about this, and it's called, it's an AI app called Chat GPT. And it's really cool because it's kind of like Google, but it's a little bit smarter, or a lot of bit smarter. And it could write full stories. It could help come up with characters. It could really add another layer to your creativity. Now, some artists don't like AI art. I'm not saying you should create all of your art just using AI, because I think art is supposed to be an expression of you, and nobody knows you like you. So after you come up with all of your characters and your emotions, I think it would be really cool. And if you're a writer and you want to write your own stories for your characters, by all means, I think that's the way to go. I'm not so much of a writer. I like the drawing part more. But just as a fun exercise, I put in these emotions and I tried to write a story. And AI wrote a story for my characters. And it was really fun because it kind of reflected a lot of the things that these emotions say in my head. So for example, do you guys want to help me come up with a story and we could try it out? Yes, you can go to the bathroom. Okay, so let's say this is how AI works. You just type in what you want it to do and you hit return or enter and it does it. So here we go. So I'm going to write an episode of a TV show in the style of Pixar's Inside Out, but instead the main character is Noah, and the emotions in his head are despair, daring, and resilience. Now we just need a scenario. So what scenario should we put fictional Noah in? Maybe his car breaks down on the side of the road. Maybe he has to teach a live stream YouTube show.
Maybe he has to do a presentation for a studio.
There we go. The scene is he has to do an art presentation, right? Okay. Presentation studio. And what's would you say the main dilemma in this? This is usually what helps ChatGPT know what you're kind of going for in it. Is Noah feeling nervous? Is fictional Noah feeling nervous? Did something happen right before he had to give the presentation, like his whole PowerPoint?
Flew out of his car.
Oh, okay, there we go. But right before all his supplies flew out of his car. I'm having a panic attack right now just imagining that happened on the way here today. If that happened, whoo. Okay, so all you have to do is click send and watch what happens. So ChatGPT will come up with an episode title. They're calling it The Art of Resilience. And it lays out the whole scene. And it's really fun. It's very therapeutic. And it can help you play out some different scenarios in your head. So maybe this actually did happen to me. Like all my supplies flew out. And I was feeling so bummed out about it. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do and everything. And all these different thoughts are rumbling through my head. Having these drawings right by me, and this is something I actually use, is I imagine the thoughts as if they were like in Riley's head. And that's what was so powerful too about this movie Inside Out. I've talked to like a lot of therapists and a lot of the artists. They even had a live screening of Inside Out at UCLA that I went to, where they had the director, Pete Docter, there. And that's how I got started working in art therapy, because there was a woman there who worked with kids using the movie to help kids act with their emotions. So this movie has been really helpful. And I think pairing it with, yes, and a realistic story. So if you can write a story based on something that happened, and remember, not a lot, I mean, some of the stuff that was happening to Riley in the movie was actually happening to her, but a lot of the movie was taking place in her head. So if you guys can write a story about something that actually happened to you and then write how your emotion characters reacted, that would be awesome. And I think it'd be really fun to do. I've done it a few times, and it's actually been really interesting what results come up, and really helpful. All right. Let's see. For everybody online, yeah. Are you online? No, I know. If you guys would like to comment below what you want to learn next, you guys in the classroom, if you guys have any, is it glitching? Ah. Yeah, somebody said it was back for a second. That's such a bummer. Oh, yeah. Live stream that you watch when they have an hour. Interesting in the middle. To finish up for today, let me know what topics you guys want to cover in the following weeks, because we're making it up. Thank you. If you guys want to do one-on-one classes with me, that's what I have as a link can be from the parents who are here or online. If you guys have any questions, I have a Q&A option too, where you guys can schedule a time with me and ask me any questions. All right. Whew.
You're making a video for YouTube?
It is going on YouTube. And I don't know if these guys could see it. Oh no. It's just not even so tired. Oh, thank you, Carla. All right. Oh man, you guys can't even see it either. Okay. All right. Next week, what we're going to be working on is how to storyboard out your story. So if you have your story ready for next week, I'm going to show you guys how they take all these character designs and turn it into a story by storyboarding them out. This is a really key part in animation, but it's also a key part in telling stories in general. You could use this process for writing your own book, graphic novel, whatever it may be. Storyboarding things out really helps, and it's a really fast process. And with that, I think we're going to call off the stream and put them out of their misery. Oh yeah, it's like full on glitching now. That's crazy. All right, guys. Oh, we can still watch the Inside Out trailer. Yeah, if you want to see it. He was asking about that already. Yeah.
Yeah, Inside Out.
The trailer for Inside Out 2.
No, I was going to watch the movie. I just saw
No.
the poster for it. Right?
Oh, it's so good.
I saw the trailer 25 times.
Oh, you did?
Have you seen it?
I heard Arlo might have us beat. I've seen it like 30 times, and yeah. How many times have you seen it?
There's a new King Kong and Godzilla movie. It's on the billboard. I watched it 100 times.
100 times?